Unencumbered by political correctness, undeterred in her mission to spread the truth, unafraid to be a true conservative, she's unapologetic, uncompromising, unwavering, and an undeniably powerful voice when we need it most. This is Rose Unplugged.
This episode of Rose Unplugged is brought to you by MyPillow and Mike Lindau. Now, they want to thank everybody for all of your support. And to thank you, since they have an overstock, they're doing a clearance and new product sale right now for the best prices ever when you use promo code ROSE. You get free shipping. It doesn't even matter how large the item is. Free shipping on your entire order. 50% off of the MyPillow, 50% off brand new flannel sheets, 6-pack towel sets, only $29.98. You know what? There's just so much on. You just have to go there and look at it yourself. I love their dog beds, and so does my dog Tucker. So to get the best specials ever, go to MyPillow.com and use the promo code ROSE. Free shipping on the entire order. MyPillow.com, promo code ROSE. And I really do appreciate your support. It helps me keep this podcast going. Joining me today on this episode of Rose Unplugged is a dear friend of mine, someone I've known for quite some time now. She is the founder and president of Moms for America. And I just have to tell you, this woman is, I don't know where she gets her energy, but she's got a lot of it. And it's because she cares so very much about moms and families in this country. Please welcome to the program, Kimberly Fletcher. Kimberly, how are you?
I am doing great. It is a great day in America. Freedom is coming. Moms are making sure it happens.
Yeah, they really are. You know, I was looking at your website today and I thought, man, you have really expanded your organization. I have never seen so much in one place. You know, you talk about how there are resources, of course, for moms, but you go beyond that. You talk about connecting moms all over this country, which I think we got to talk about that because that's important too. You need that support group. But you also talk about empowering and raising patriots in the home. Why is that important?
Well, we are the ultimate mom support group because everything that we do focuses on our family, our children, and we want our children to have the same blessings that we've had. So raising patriots is how we do that. If we can promote a love of liberty in our home, in the hearts of our children, then they will be able to turn this around. And one generation, we can turn this around, and our children will stand up and carrying that banner of liberty that has sustained us for so many years. So raising patriots, that's our future. Whatever America's going to look like in 10, 20, 30 years, we're deciding it today. And that future is our hope.
You know, Kimberly, sometimes moms think, I don't know if what I'm doing or saying is making a difference. I don't know if they're actually hearing me. But in the end, it's always interesting, isn't it? And I know you've raised some wonderful children yourself. In the end, when they come back or you hear them mimicking you later in life or as young adults or young married couples, and you see that all of those things that you took the time to instill in them and to teach them, and even, may I say, preach to them, they actually incorporate that into their lives. And it's fun to watch, isn't it?
It is. And it's the greatest recognition I speak across the country. I go to all these different events. I'm in the media all the time. And people are like, oh my gosh, you're just so amazing. I'm like, no, what's amazing is what I did raising those kids. Because when I see what they're doing and my grandchildren, and when I see them pledge the flag, their parents are homeschooling them now. And I'll see them. They get up and they pledge the flag, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. It's just carrying on that history and that heritage that makes. I mean, we're unique in all the world. So when you can see your legacy in your children, that those seeds that you planted coming to fruition, that is the greatest gift, the greatest recognition accolade I will ever receive.
Yeah, amen to that. And you know, one of the other things too that I think is so important, and I honestly, Kimberly, and I mean this very sincerely, I'm so proud of the work that you've done and what you've been able to accomplish in these 20 years. You are celebrating 20 years, Moms for America, and we've got a big event coming up, and we'll talk about that in a couple of minutes because you don't want to miss this, ladies. It's an amazing event. I've been to Kimberly's events. They are so awesome. But what I love is that you have been able to effectively bring together moms from all across the country. Why is that important?
We need to know that we're not alone. That's the most important thing we need to know right now, because we're looking at all the crazy in the world and we're like, am I the only one that sees that this just doesn't make sense and this is not okay. You are not. We need to be able to connect locally where we are and across the country. And Moms for America is the ultimate support group, providing you with all the support and resources, encouragement that you need to be able to promote that love of liberty in your home and within your community and your sphere of influence. And it doesn't take a lot of work. This is one of the things that I wanted at the very beginning of this, founding this organization 20 years ago, is I wanted moms to not feel like this was just too overwhelming and something else they had to do. You know, I've got dinner, I've got daycare, I've got diapers, I got to save the country too. I wanted them to know that there are small and simple things that have a monumental impact. And if all they do is promote that love of liberty in their home with the hearts of their children, and then go out and vote their values on election day, we will win. We will win this country, because moms are the ones we're the saving grace. And nobody's coming to save us. We're the ones everybody's looking to. It's going to be moms that are going to preserve the freedoms and blessings of freedom that we have had and been able to experience in our lives.
Amen. Well said. And here's what I like about Moms for America. It's not, you don't just get up there and preach, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that. What you do is you offer and provide the tools and the resources for moms to do this and that. And I love that, because not everyone does that, Kimberly, and you do it so very effectively. What's the secret behind that? Is it just great moms out there?
It is. They're amazing moms out there. So it kind of started with my own journey. When I started to look at what is it that would inspire other moms, it's really what inspired me. The story of America is an epic tale.
Yes.
And well, of course, there have been mistakes throughout history in every country. And it's not about one country is bad or one country is good. It's about, there's good and bad in every person, and people are going to make mistakes. And we learn from those mistakes. And that's what I wanted. I wanted people to understand, yes, there have been mistakes made. Let's not hide them. Let's not get rid of our history. Let's learn from it so that we can be better. And one of the things that I tell moms is, where we are right now is a very scary place, because we're literally living in Hitler's Germany, Mao's China, and Stalin's Russia, leading into a very bad path. And most people have no idea how desperate the situation is. But the good news is there are very simple solutions to counter what seems like complicated problems. And when we're looking out there as, oh my gosh, this just looks so big, how do we even deal with this? We bring in those simple solutions and we say, no, this is what you can do. Start by something as simple as knowing and sharing the story of America. When people hear it, it moves them. They become more passionate, and they want to be able to preserve that. They want to share it with their children. That's what's happening. And when we're connecting with these moms across the country, whether it's on our webinars or our in-person events, we want them to leave feeling something, not just, oh, that was cool, and you go home, but you leave changed, and the spirit talks to you. Your passion and your spirit drives you to where you want to go. We don't dictate to you, this is what you have to do, this is how you're going to do it. We just say, this is what we offer. These are the programs and resources we have. This is the training that we provide. You go in the direction you want to go. Pick from the smorgasbord, but just focus on what truth and light is, and do not move from that.
Kimberly, that is awesome. And, it's interesting you talk about American history, and I know that's something that you are very passionate about and quite frankly, quite articulate about. I just did a recent podcast on American history. And if you think about it, I think there are only 8 states that make civics and American history part of their, and I'm talking public schools, part of their curriculum that actually is necessary to graduate. That's it. Can you imagine that? Out of all of our states, only 8. And how important it is to understand civics, but even more than that, I think the American history. And I have actually, and you know this, I've talked about our American history, and it will, when I'm telling the story, and I've told it many times, I will still tear up. I will still get so moved and emotional over some of the stories. And when we don't tell our children those stories, how can they be proud of this country? Yes, you are right. There are things that we did wrong, but girl, there are a lot of things we did right. And if our children don't know those stories, if they don't have a pride, and that's why I think we see the problems that we do right now with younger people.
You're right. That's exactly why we focus so much on the stories. And it's this, the story of America is powerful, but there's also the story of your family. I mean, if you are trying to destroy a country, you have to first divide people, and then you take away their identity. There's no sense of belonging. There's no purpose or passion, and that's what we're doing. In schools, we're teaching kids to hate their country, hate their neighbors, hate themselves, disconnect from their parents. What do they have to hold on to? When you have this whole void, then they're trying to fill it with something.
Right.
And this is why they're getting confused and buying into the idea of maybe I'm not a boy, or maybe I'm a girl, maybe I'm not a girl, maybe I'm a boy. And the comprehensive sex education, which is literally pornography, and it's just shoving it down the kids' throats. I mean, people knew what was happening in the schools, the actual things that our children are being exposed to. It is so much worse than what they think it is. And these kids are being faced with this every day. And this is one of the things that we want to empower moms with is a knowledge of what your children are facing and how you can counter it. We need to be at least as much of an influence in our children's lives as the world is. And right now it seems like we're just completely losing control because the world is speaking louder than we are. And sometimes we aren't even speaking to them at all. So our place and our position as mothers, I mean, Mathew Vassar said it beautifully. The mothers of a country mold its citizens, determine its institutions, and shape its destiny. That destiny begins by touching the hearts and souls of our children.
Right.
There is no better way to do that than with the story of your family. The story, they tell them their birth story, give them something to believe in, and then connect them with their family, help them realize how important they are and how significant they are in their family and in this country, that we are truly are the greatest country on earth. And it is something to be proud of. And patriot is a good word that we should celebrate and aspire to be. Someone who sacrifices everything, just like our founding fathers, for those who are going to come after them. We live in a very selfish generation, and it's easy for kids to fall into that. But this is our opportunity to give them something to believe in beyond themselves, which helps them become better themselves.
And, you know, we touched on this just briefly right now when you talked about the comprehensive sex education, gendered identity issues that are brought into even elementary school classrooms. When a child is incapable of handling that kind of thought, their minds are not at a place, or brains are not at a place where they can accept or even think about or handle those such abstract thoughts. If so, that leads me into the one question I was really interested in asking is, what changes since Moms for America, by the way, it's momsforamerica.us, and I'm talking to its founder and president, Kimberly Fletcher. What changes have you seen, Kimberly, in the last 20 years that just kind of blow your mind?
Wow. Well, the fact that people don't know what a woman is would be would be a big one. Children are actually being encouraged to tell on their parents.
Yes.
This is a lot. When I said, where we're at in our country is Hitler's Germany, Mao's China, and Stalin's Russia. I mean, I'm not kidding. What Mao did is exactly what's happening today. He shut down the schools. He encouraged them to purge everything old. These kids went around tearing down statues and burning old books. And it's like what's happening today. We don't want the old stuff. The Constitution is old. It doesn't matter anymore. We need a new Constitution, or we need a new form of government. No, we really don't. And I think of all of the crazy things that are going on, from the sex that they're shoving down our kids' throats, the books that they're reading. And, they keep calling us book banners. And President Biden said that in his takedown speech on January 5th, book banners and patriots and insurrectionists, and lumping everything good. And in Isaiah, in the Bible, it talks about this. Will come to the day when good will be made bad and bad will be made good. And this is what you're seeing. So there's massive confusion going on. And of all of the things that are happening, I will tell you that I think what floors me the most is that when I step back and I look at all of it, I see that it is all connected. Whether it's the environmentalist radicals, or what's happening in the schools, or what's happening in Israel or Ukraine. I mean, you just step back and you look at the whole landscape and you can see this web of deceit and destruction. And there's one objective: kill God and enslave the people.
Wow.
That's only coming from one place. And people have said it. It's a spiritual battle. And it is absolutely true. We are in the greatest war, in the fight of our lives. And there are only two armies. And you just have to choose which camp you're in. And spoiler alert, God wins in the end. But this isn't a battle for outcome. It's a battle for casualties. And I am not going to allow my children or grandchildren to be a casualty in this war. And that's really my personal mission, is to help moms, empower them, encourage them to realize this is what we're facing. That school board member is not your enemy. The president is not your enemy. These people who are seemingly your enemies are not your enemies. It is the devil himself. And all of these people are just pawns in the war. And most people are just deceived. And that's the thing, the amount of deception and how easily people fall to it when they fear. But the other side of that, which was 2020, of course, everybody was feared into believing that you had to wear a mask or shove something in your body. What really happened that year was people experienced tyranny and oppression like they never have before.
Yes. Yeah.
Like our founding families hoped we never would. And that has, we have people all over the country who are uniting together. And I'm telling you, there is something beautiful happening right now. And as crazy as things are, there is a pushback. I was at a school board meeting last month in Los Angeles area, and the school board was literally voting on taking away parental rights. Like, they said that out loud.
It's unbelievable.
And and so they had all of these families, parents, mostly moms, but these parents who came, they were Christian, they were Jewish, they were Muslims, they were Armenian, they were Black, white, Hispanic. They were all united together to stand up against that school board and say, no, that is not happening. Rose, that has never happened in the history of our country, where all those religions come together and stand together to fight for a common purpose.
Yes.
So we're in an amazing time. And the more we can unite together, and you know this because you've studied history too, that the thing that tyrannical leaders fear the most is a peasant uprising. Yeah. And the peasants are uprising right now. We're saying no.
Yeah, we are.
Enough.
Well, and that brings us to a gala that you have coming up, and it's Moms for America, and it's in Dallas, Texas. But listen, the price of this, I just thought, I can't believe how affordable it is with everything that you get for this 3-day event. It's full of hope and encouragement, February 29th through March 2nd. And, your speakers, I can't wait. I'll be there. I'm one of the presenters, I think, but I'm taking care of a panel. Yeah,
you are.
And I think, right, because I've got so many things going on in the next 2 months. It's unbelievable. But please tell everybody, I am so thrilled. I can't wait to be there to see all of these people and hear what they have to say. Let's talk about some of the guests that you have coming.
Absolutely. So we're very excited to have Jim Caviezel, and people would recognize him most recently from being the star of Sound of Freedom. Right. What an incredible film that was. He was also in Passion of the Christ. He's one of my favorite films that people don't probably remember is the Count of Monte Cristo. He was in that. Oh, yeah. He's just an amazing actor, and he just picks the greatest projects to work on. So he'll be there. We have actually a VIP experience that people can join in, but everybody gets to hear him. He's going to speak at the event Thursday evening. We have Dr. Ben Carson, who everybody keeps talking about, maybe the future vice president of the United States. He's even doing, I know, and he's doing a story hour with children, and he'll be speaking Thursday night. We have Kevin Sorbo, Sam Sorbo, Sebastian Gorka, Lance Wallnow, Tim Barton, and Tim Barton, I'm really excited about this because Tim Barton is going to be doing a whole presentation on the history of the powerful influence of mothers through our history.
He's so good.
So all those of you women,
so good.
He is.
Yeah.
He is. So if you think women were not a part of this process, he is going to give you a whole new picture of how influential mothers were. So this is going to be just amazing. And a red carpet event. I'm not kidding. Moms are going to be greeted on a red carpet. And this is all about celebrating the powerful influence of moms.
Love
this
it.
Is, you see the Hollywood red carpet with all these star names. This is about you, moms. This is about you being recognized and appreciated for who you are and what you're doing in our country and your homes.
God bless. And John Rich is going to be there, right?
Oh, yes, John Rich.
Yes, how can we forget? He's a friend of Moms for America.
He is. He's on our advisory board. We just love him. He is going to be speaking and performing, so that's going to be exciting. I mean, there's just so much. Everybody can come to mfa20.com and get all the details, and the ticket prices are incredibly reasonable. The cheapest ticket is our $75 ticket. You get the whole entire conference. It just doesn't include the meals.
Right.
And the $225 ticket includes all the meals. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner on Friday, breakfast and lunch on Saturday. And that's just the cost of the food. That's just our cost. So if you don't want to have to go out and find somewhere to go eat, you want to stay there and connect with moms during the lunch hour and the dinner hour, then great. That's all included. But this is just a great way for moms to get together and feel like really special.
I think you've made it so that they can afford it. This is an amazing event, people. And listen, ladies, you deserve a little getaway, right? This is the perfect getaway. You'll be inspired. You'll be encouraged. You'll really have a great time with other like-minded women. And that's what makes this so special. And I've been to these events. I love them. I go back home just feeling so full and inspired. So the gala is February 29th through March 2nd. It is in Dallas, Texas.
MFA20. You don't have to spell it out, Moms for America. Just MFA20.com. Or you can come to momsforamerica.us. It's on the front page. But MFA20.com takes you right there. All the information is there. All the schedules are where you'll be able to see if I just want to hear Jim Caviezel. Come on Thursday. Everything will be there, so you'll know exactly where to go, who to see, and you're going to be connecting. And like Rose said, I'm telling you, you are going to leave a changed person. Your tank will be filled. You will be ready to roll, and you will realize just how powerful your influence is in your home, in your community, and in our country.
Oh, I see that Peter McCullough, he's been on my podcast many, many times. I adore him. He's just such a sweetheart.
He's fantastic. Yes. Fantastic.
Oh,
we've got a lot of panels. So that's great. I mean, you talk about the panels. He's going to be on the medical freedom panel. We have a gender confusion panel. We have all these different panels where these different panelists will be talking about issues that moms care about.
Wow.
And not just reiterating the problem, but what are the solutions? And we're a very solution-based organization. So you are going to leave feeling like, okay, I get it. I know what I can do.
Yeah. And
you don't have to do it all. Pick that thing that's most important to you and then go home. But go home and share what the passion and the fire that you felt at this event and ignite it in your own community, because local is where we're going to change things. We are a national organization, but we support local because that's what impacts the nation.
Exactly. Oh, Kimberly, thank you for everything that you do for moms. Honestly, you have worked tirelessly over these 20 plus years, and I congratulate you on this anniversary. And people, please check out momsforamerica.us. And again, you can register for the event right there too. But you really do, because it's a great resource for moms all over this country. Kimberly, God bless you. I'll thank you so much for what you're doing.
Thank you, Rose. It's always a pleasure to spend time with you. I'm looking forward to seeing you in Dallas.
Same here.